Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're diving into 3 terrifying real stories, all set inside hotels. These aren't made-up campfire tales. These are first-hand encounters, shared by real people on Reddit. Each one takes place in a hotel room where something deeply unsettling happened, something the guests still can't explain. So turn down the lights, put your headphones on, and remember, next time you stay in a hotel, someone or something might already be there, waiting. This story was shared by a Reddit user named Aaron, who worked as a night auditor at a historic hotel in Manhattan. The building was well over 100 years old. It had gone through dozens of renovations over the decades, modern upgrades slapped onto aging bones. That meant the hotel had strange quirks: old bricked-up staircases, hidden storage rooms, doors that led nowhere. One of those strange places was room 511. It had been officially out of use for over 6 months, but Aaron, like others on staff, had gotten calls about it. Guests in the neighboring rooms, 509 and 513, reported noises late at night, dragging furniture, knocking on shared walls, even whispering. Aaron never thought much of it. He figured sound traveled weirdly in old buildings. But then came the call that changed his mind. At 3:20 a.m. on a Thursday, a panicked family in room 510 phoned the front desk. Their teenage daughter had woken up screaming. She said someone whispered her name from the air vent above her bed. Aaron checked the records. Room 511 was still marked unoccupied. He grabbed his master key, a flashlight, and went to check it out himself. As he walked down the 5th floor hallway, he felt the air grow noticeably colder. One of the lights overhead flickered as he passed beneath it. When he reached room 511, he stopped and listened. The hallway was silent, but as he leaned toward the door, he thought he heard breathing. Slow, raspy, close. He knocked. No response. He slid the key card, and the door clicked open. Inside, it was completely dark. The air was stale, heavy, like the room hadn't been opened in months. He flipped the lights on. They flickered once, then held. Everything looked clean. The bed was made. No luggage. No signs of occupancy. But then he noticed something. The closet door. It was slightly ajar. He walked over and opened it. It was just an ordinary hotel closet, but the back panel was slightly warped. Aaron leaned in and noticed it had a seam, like a panel that could open. He pushed. The panel swung inward with a soft creak. Behind it was a narrow corridor, just wide enough for a person to pass through. It was pitch black inside. Aaron pointed his flashlight down the passage and stepped in. The air inside was worse, damp, sour, almost metallic. Along the corridor floor were signs that someone had been living there. A threadbare blanket, crumpled fast food wrappers, a rusted portable radio, and a mirror. Cracked right down the middle, propped up against the wall. Slightly, then close again. But no one ever came out. Aaron handed in his resignation that weekend. This story comes from Jessie, a Reddit user who went on a cross-country trip with her boyfriend. They were nearing the Nevada-Utah border, and it was getting late. With no other options nearby, they pulled into a cheap roadside motel called Silver Pines. It looked straight out of a horror movie. Faded neon sign, a desk clerk who barely looked up when they arrived. The room key was metal, not a card, and they were given room 223 on the 2nd floor. The hallway was silent. No TVs, no other guests. Everything smelled like bleach and stale air. Jesse joked that the place hadn't seen real guests in years. They threw their stuff down and went straight to bed. Around 2:40 a.m., Jessie woke up. Something had startled her, but she didn't know what. Then she heard it, a faint clicking, like a coin or metal object lightly tapping glass. The noise was coming from the window. She sat up. The blinds were closed, but the sound continued. Tick, tick, tick. She nudged her boyfriend awake. He listened. Then it stopped. That's when the doorknob started turning. Slowly, quietly. They both froze. The handle turned back and forth a few times, then stopped. Her boyfriend grabbed his phone and walked to the door. He looked through the peephole. "There's someone there," he whispered. She asked what he looked like. I don't know, he's just standing there, not moving. His face is right against the door." Jessie grabbed the phone and tried calling the front desk. No answer. Then the man outside stepped back, slowly, never breaking eye contact with the door. He walked down the hall with stiff, unnatural movements. They didn't sleep after that. At checkout, they told the morning clerk what happened. The man looked confused. "Room 223? That one's usually blocked off, wasn't supposed to be in circulation." When they described the man, the clerk went pale. "You're not the first to see him." Marcus was a frequent traveler. He had a routine: check into a quiet room, order food, get work done, sleep. During a trip to Chicago, he stayed at a chain hotel he'd used before. This time, the front desk gave him room 313. The woman at the desk hesitated before printing the key, but said nothing. The room was standard: a king bed, armchair, desk. Clean, quiet, uneventful, until 2:12 a.m. He woke up shivering. The room was freezing. He got up to check the thermostat, still set to 70. Then he noticed steam coming from the bathroom. The light was on. He approached slowly. The shower was running full blast, hot water fogging up the mirror. He hadn't touched it since checking in. On the fogged glass, words began to appear. One by one. "Get out." Marcus backed away and ran out the door barefoot into the hallway. He spent the night in the lobby. In the morning, he asked the clerk if anyone had reported issues with room 313. She looked at her monitor and slowly shook her head. "We don't usually assign that room maintenance, but sometimes we run out of options." She leaned in and added, "There was a woman who died in that room years ago. Steam was still fogging the mirror when they found her, and those same words were written across the glass." Marcus didn't ask for a refund. He just left. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more true horror content, and comment below if you've ever experienced something unexplainable while traveling. Thanks for watching, and remember, some hotel guests never really check out.